Okay, so today is December 17th, 2025. We're getting so close, up to Christmas here, as can be seen. And the best way I can describe it, if my energy seems off, is that I'm over here having a spiritual epiphany. And it all started that day with those birds. And, as promised, I wanted to come back and continue on explaining about that day. You remember that there were 3 different things I wanted to share, in which I think that they all tie in to my final point. But I am processing. I'm deep in feelings. I'm deep in the spirit, and something almost made me say to not record right now because I would not have the concentration, plus all of the distractions being here in Times Square and the noise. But at the end of the day, I'm always willing and ready to accept the challenge and really to challenge myself to be the best. And I do hope that you all recognize that in every video, it won't be happy-go-lucky, regular every day. Sometimes it's really important for me to record right in translation, right during a transformation, right during epiphany, catharsis. And so if I drift or I seem at all distracted, I'm not looking at the camera, that is why. And so bear with me during this for that reason, right? And in fact, what I think I want to do right now, what I really think I want to do is go ahead and roll a blunt before I even start. And I think from there, I'll be able to calm my nerves a little bit and truly process and share with you guys the magnitude of the things that happened that day. And now that I'm thinking about them, it's hard for me to go anywhere. And I'm feeling like I'm going to talk about it right now. So later on that same day that I was feeling so high, so spiritually high, and anointed that day, that I went into the library later that same day. And I small talked with the woman at the help desk, trying to get her to situate and, set me up with a computer that would be available on the floor which I was on. She made a real quick comment that, with the system that we have, it might randomly choose another floor based off availability. I said, yeah, sure, no problem, not thinking much about it. And kind of being zoned out that day on what I was there to do. I was there to do some very powerful, and important writings. And so from there, she told me that it would be a floor underneath me. I went to that computer. Next thing you know, like a few chairs down from me, a black woman just starts talking to herself. And I noticed that she doesn't stop. And that caused me to just drift out of, for a moment, my focus and concentration, to really pay attention to my surroundings and everyone that was around me. And I noticed the bonnet immediately on someone else. And I noticed that, why is everyone on this floor black and seemingly poor and seemingly here not to really be online, but really just probably trying to escape the cold? Hey, it's nothing wrong with that, but why are we being segregated? So I went back upstairs, and in fact, I videoed that room. And I went back upstairs to the room that I originally approached and wanted to get online in, and I videoed that room, and that room was full of predominantly a mixture, but I'll keep it real, white men. And so I went back up to that same help desk woman, and I pointed it out, and I called it out, and I recorded that conversation. And she offered a complaint statement and mentioned that she spoke with her manager about it, but it truly is random, and all I said toward the end of that conversation was, but for everyone on one floor only to be black and homeless, and for you to decide to place me there as though, what I'm here for is not as valid of the respect of a silent room and the ability to concentrate in that room because you're in a room of people doing something, actively engaging online, that you categorize me based off my sex and my race. That was what you did. And so I didn't bother filling out the complaint because I feel like sometimes we have to call it right where we see it. And I spoke very loudly. I wasn't trying to keep it a secret. And at one point you could have heard what they say, a mouse piss on a cotton ball, how silent that room felt. And sometimes once you have called it out, you have to be done with it and move on with your day and your purpose and your mission. And so again, there was a third thing that happened following all of that even. But it made me look at my day even in hindsight, and I said that, wow, something has enlightened. I'm feeling something so powerful inside that even like the slightest bit of my focus onto things, like I'm figuring things out, I'm maneuvering and moving in rooms like I never ever have before. And so come back, because I'm going to roll that now. Come back for the finality and the part 3 of that very magnificent day that's taking my breath away even as I'm talking about it. I'll be right back with part 3.